Hello and welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with another episode of Battle Bites here in World of Tanks. And yes, it's going to be that time again very soon. Time to engage in another series of operations to earn a free premium tank. This time, the tank that's up for grabs is a Tier 7 premium heavy tank. It's from the German line and it's based on the Tiger 1 and it's called the Hammer. I personally don't have a Tiger 1, so I'm kind of looking forward to this. I think it'll be a cool one to pursue and add to my garage. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to quickly go over how you acquire this tank. Most of you have already gotten up to speed on what you need to do in order to get the tank, but for those of you that haven't, I'll give a quick rundown of how this works. And then at the end of the video, I'll include a chart that I put together that based on your win rate and your percentage of time that you end up in the top 5 XP earners on your team, you can estimate how many games it will take for you to complete some of the operations associated with this tank. So quickly, this is quite different than how the Motherland and the CDC work. In those, all you had to do was grind out enough XP, which you could do if you just put your head down and got through enough games, you'd eventually get there. But works quite differently this time, because what you need to do to unlock each of the timed operations is to earn a number of points. And those points are earned by specific conditions. If you win a game, you're on the winning team, you earn a point. If you're on the losing team in a battle, you lose a point. And if you place within the top 5 XP earners on your team in a battle, win or lose, you earn a point. So for those of you who have a 50-50 win rate, you're going to wash in the win-loss category, and it's going to come down to how many games you can earn a top 5 XP finish. If you're to the plus with your win rate, you'll slowly get there. And if you're to the minus with your win rate, you may not ever get there. It is possible for the first time for some players to not be able to get this tank, even if they put in an infinite amount of time, right? All the time that this operation is available, it's possible if some players are not skilled enough, if they're not lucky enough, they may not be able to acquire this tank. So with that said, you now know how you have to earn points. Well, how many points do you need? So there's once again 5 timed operations here. We start with the first and you only need 5 points. So that's not too bad. Second operation, once again, similar, only 5 points. And these unlock 3 days apart and you have plenty of time to do them. So if you've missed out on the first couple of days, you can easily catch up. Operation 3 doubles to now requiring 10 points. Operation 4 requires another 10 points. And Operation 5, which is the last one, you only get 2 days to complete Operation 5. You need 15 points. And then the bonus, the gravy, as the other tanks that were given away, there is a chance to earn 1,000 gold. And all you need to do is collect another 15 points. So what I've done in the chart that's about to follow is I've set it up for acquiring 30 points. 30 points is what you would need to do if you're starting on the last 2 days, ready to go with Tier 5. You've unlocked challenge number 4, and all you need to do is challenge 5, and then you want to get the 1,000 gold. You need 30 points in those last 2 days. So that's what this chart is based on. If you are just going for the tank, that's a total of 45 points that you'll need not to get the 1,000 gold. So the numbers that I have in here, they're for 30 points. Cut the number in half, and then triple it. And that'll get you to what you would need for just the 45 points for the tank. If you want everything, all 5 operations to get the tank and the 1,000 gold, that's going to be 60 points, double the number that you see. Again, the number on the screen is for 30 points. You need 60, so you can double it. So with that said, we're going to turn to the chart. And what I've done here is set it up so that you can find your win percentage on the left-hand side, go across until you're lined up with your percent of games that you end up in the top 5 XP earners on your team. And that is roughly the number of games you can expect it to take for you to acquire 30 points. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. Everybody's going to get lucky or unlucky at some point in their playtime. Through both the Motherland and the CDC missions, I did track my win percentage, and in both cases, at the end of those ops, my win percent for those operations basically equaled my career win percentage. I didn't see much fluctuation. But within the operation, there were certainly good days and bad days. I had days where I went 3 wins and 15 losses, and I had days where I went 15 wins and 3 losses. So don't be discouraged, but all in all, these events don't really seem to affect your win percentage too much. Keep in mind, if people are trying to win, they may be even more incentivized to cap early. So think about defending the cap. Don't abandon the cap, because early capping may definitely be a thing. Now, for those of you who have a fair to lower career win percentage, right? Maybe you're hovering around that 50% mark and you're feeling a little bit discouraged about the chore, the challenge that you have in front of you to overcome this. Well, your career win percent is one way to look at this, but what I would suggest that you do, go into the garage, look at your tanks, and find the 2 tanks that you have the best win percentage in. You don't need to play any certain nation. You don't need to play any certain tank. So play your best tank. For me, I know it's going to be the Cromwell and the Cromwell Knight, and maybe I'll sneak 1 or 2 other tanks in there as well. But those 2, they're my bread and butter. They're my favorite tanks to play. They're at tier 6, which is kind of a sweet spot. So I think that's where I'm going to rely heavily on completing these missions. And everybody's got to have 1 tank that they do a little bit better in. And so as long as you can find 1 tank where your win percentage is, 55%, hey, you've got a real shot at this thing without too much trouble. And if you can sneak a couple top 5 XP finishes in there as well, you'll have the tank in no time. So there you go. I'll leave the chart up on the screen for another minute or so you guys can take a look at it. I have my formula for how I calculated that as well. I very well have made math mistakes here. Please let me know if I did. I'll try and correct anything in post. But if not, hopefully you guys do find this useful. It'll help you schedule your time, plan your days out if you're planning to pursue this tank. And if you did find this useful, please feel free to give a thumbs up to the video. I do appreciate it. And as always, feel free to subscribe to Meat City for future gaming content. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you on the battlefield.